Oh, hello. Tell me, are you an oversharer, a data dumper, perhaps a rambler with a side of rabbit holes? Well, if that's the case, you are invited to join me at my upcoming workshop, The Goldilocks Effect of Speaking, where you are going to learn how to say not too little, not too much, but just the right amount to land your message with impact. In this very interactive, that is, you'll get your questions answered, 75-minute online workshop, you'll learn how to remove all of the fluff so you can speak just to your message, use stories to amplify that message without adding more noise. You'll learn how to recover when you do start heading down those rabbit holes. You'll learn how to know when too much is too much and perhaps when it's not enough, and basically how to be concise but still be personable, conversational, and authentically you. It's happening on the 30th of July from 12:30 to 1:45 Australian Eastern Standard Time. Yes, you get the recording and it costs $67 Australian. The link to book is in the podcast notes, in the show notes. With that said, welcome. Welcome to another episode of Speaking with Confidence with Kat Matson. That is me. I'm Kat. And on this show, I coach business owners, public servants, humble leaders, and other corporate hippies how to speak with confidence, authority, authenticity, and impact. And today I am answering a question that came from my community where the question was, well, what are your grounding hacks, Kat? How do you calm yourself down and how do you ground before a speaking gig? She writes, sometimes I'm nervous, sometimes I'm worried I'll forget things. Sometimes I'll be daunted by the number of people in the crowd, and I can be a bit prone to rushing the first few minutes until I come down. That's why I'm asking for hacks. So I totally get this one. I totally get this one. And even though I have been speaking on stages of all sizes for more than 20 years now, I still get nervous. The interesting thing for me is it will surprise me when I get nervous. I won't necessarily get nervous leading up to a big event, but moments before, it will often take hold, and I have to very quickly, and I mean very quickly, ground myself so I can take the stage with grace. So, how do I do that? Well, first thing I do, particularly when, I'm about to walk on stage and all of a sudden that adrenaline, that anxiety, those nerves, those butterflies have hit, first of all, I will breathe. Breathe really, really deeply. And if I have the moment, I will do what I call, what's known in yoga as box breathing. So that's an even count in for 4, hold your breath for 4, an even breath out for 4, and then you hold again for 4. You can hold for 4, 5, 10, it doesn't matter, just as long as it's even. So you're kind of drawing a square with your breath. So in, hold, exhale, hold. Now, by breathing in this way, you can't help but calm yourself down. If I'm in a green room or if I've got a few extra minutes, I might even do some alternate nostril breathing. If you're a yogi, then you'll be very familiar with this. If you're not, just look it up. The reason I'll do alternate nostril breathing if I can is because it's even deeper and it's even more grounding. But as I said, if I'm about to walk on stage and I don't have the opportunity to do a couple of moments of alternate nostril breathing, then that box breathing just really helps calm. I will make sure that I'm breathing into my belly, because what's going on when you're nervous is you start breathing up into your chest, which becomes a fight or flight nervous system response. And so by breathing down into our bellies, we actually calm that response down and we signal to our nervous system that we're safe, that we don't need to run, that everything's okay. The second thing I will do is I focus on the audience. I tune in energetically, intuitively to the audience. What have they heard so far? What are they hoping to hear from me? what have they been told about me? Like, what are they waiting for? What are they anticipating from me? And in the context of what they've already heard, how the day's gone so far, what's happened immediately before me, what's likely to happen after me, all of those things, I'll ask myself, how can I be of greatest service to them? One of the things that we tend to do when we're nervous and when we're speaking is that we will focus on calming our nerves by giving all of the things, by showing how smart we are, by showing how clever we are, by showing how, I don't know, experienced and how worthy we are to be on this stage. The fact that you're on the stage makes you worthy enough. Your audience wants to hear your insight. Your audience wants to hear your opinion. Your audience wants to hear your perspective. And so when you tune in to how you can be of greatest service, then you take the pressure off yourself. You move out of trying to prove yourself and into helping. And I'm yet to meet a speaker who doesn't want to help more people. In fact, that's why we do it, right? Because we can make impact or help people at scale. So focus on your audience. The other thing that I do, and I teach this in my Impactful Presenters program, is I have a very standard start. Having said that, it will still be different for every single presentation I do, but I will have a framework that I use every single time I take the stage. And what this does is it means that my nervous, scared, frantic brain can go onto autopilot and move through those first few minutes while I'm calming myself down. It's almost like being able to sing a song in the back of your mind while you're doing something else. So my standard start includes a couple of questions that I ask the audience. They are designed to generate engagement, and they're designed to generate, I'm going to say, compliance with the audience. Like, I'm wanting my audience to be nodding at the end of my first two questions. I then have a very standard introduction of myself, my Earn the Right. And I've talked about this in a couple of other episodes. So if you just search for Earn the Right or Nerves in your podcast player, you'll see those episodes. In fact, actually, I'll give you a link to one of them in the show notes. Episode 11, How to Overcome Your Nerves Once and for All, will give you some hot tips. But your Earn the Right is a way of introducing yourself, telling your story. I will have adjusted it for this particular audience, but because I know who I am, because I know this framework backwards, because I've been using it, and because I use it every single time, it just becomes a nice way of managing, as our questioner mentioned. I tend to speak really fast while I'm getting settled. It lets you deliver at a proper pace while you settle, while you're scanning the audience, while you're getting a sense of, okay, there's the lights, there's my clicker, okay, I see where I am, all of those things. The other thing that can happen too with a big audience is, in fact, I see this with clients all the time. They get concerned that, is my content going to be relevant to beginners as well as to more advanced people? Like, how do I cater to all of these, to such a diverse, large crowd? It's worth thinking about that before you hit the stage and incorporating that into your presentation. But I also have another episode which talks through that in more detail, episode 40, How to Be Relevant to Diverse Audiences. And as I said, the link to those episodes are in my show notes. My final tip for calming and grounding as you start is, once you're on the stage, physically connecting with your audience. So before I've taken the stage, before I've stepped up on stage, I have intuitively and energetically connected with the audience. But then when I'm standing on stage, I will make eye contact. Now, you can't make eye contact with 100 people in just a couple of moments, particularly if you've got stage lights, etc. But what I do is I will look at the back left-hand corner and see if I can see the person sitting in that spot, the back left-hand corner. Then I will cast my eyes across to the back right-hand corner of the room. Then I'll draw a diagonal line with my eyes down to the front left corner and then across to the front right. It's kind of like drawing a Z or a Z for my American listeners, a Z across the audience starting at the back. Now, this does a few things. First of all, it does calm you down. It grounds. It has you go, oh, okay, there's people here and they're friendly because they're smiling at you by this stage. You can make eye contact. And generally what will happen as you're doing that is you'll clock a couple of what I call friendly faces. Let me rephrase. In every audience, there are different processing styles, and some people process with nods and smiles and, really expressive, open faces. Others don't. That's okay. Find the ones who have those open faces, because then when you're feeling wobbly, then when you need to look up, you just land on them again and they'll give you a smile because that's how they're processing your information. And it's just a lovely little kick to have you keep moving. So they're my tips. Breathe, do your box breathing, connect intuitively with your audience, have a standard start, and then once you're on stage, connect again with your audience physically. Now, as I've mentioned, I've talked about this in a few different ways, in a few different episodes. How to overcome your nerves once and for all is way back at the beginning at episode 11. The link is in the show notes, as is episode 40, how to be relevant to diverse audiences. Now, as I said at the top of this episode, I have one of my workshops coming up, the Goldilocks Effect of Speaking, where you will learn how to say not too little, not too much, but just the right amount to connect with your audience, but still be you. One of the things that I hear a lot of clients say is, but I need to learn how to speak more concisely and succinctly. But that's not really my style. If it's not your style, then don't do it. Don't do it. There is a balance, though. You don't want to drown your audience in all of the things. So the link to the Goldilocks Effect workshop, which is happening on the 30th of July, is also in the show notes. As I round out, as I mentioned, this episode is answering a question. It is answering a community question. If you have a question that you would like me to answer on this podcast, just head over to Instagram and find me there at Kat Matson. That's Kat with a C. Matson has a T in the middle, Kat Matson, and ask. Just ask me the question, because one of the things I love doing more than anything else is answering your questions about speaking with confidence. So just ask away. No question is too small. No question is too big. No question is too weird. No question is too silly. Just ask. So I hope that has given you some really solid grounding techniques to calm yourself before you get on a stage. Let me know if there are other grounding hacks that you use. And until next week's episode, here's to confidence and here's to impact. I'll see you soon.